Episode 8 begins with Hye Ji-young approaching Dong-yoon and begging her not to interfere with her upcoming wedding. Dong-yoon returns her phone to her and tells her that she learned so much about her by using her phone. Hye Ji-young realizes that Dong-yoon was the one who sent her the pictures. Dong-yoon advises her to consider how she can save herself and instructs her to report Myung-oh as missing. Do-young spots Jae-joon watching over Hye-sol, and they get into a confrontation. Do-young asks Jae-joon what he is planning to do. He tells him that he no longer wishes to find Myung-oh because he has learned the reason he sent the letter. Do-young may have just realized that he is not Hye-sol's biological father. Dong-yoon meets Jae-joon on the school premises and is reminded of how he and Myung-oh sexually harassed her back in the day. He asks her if she is planning to get revenge. He says he can't stop her plans and tries to provoke her, and she slaps him. He warns her to stay away from Hye-sol, and she warns him not to help Yeon-jin. She tells him that if he wants to protect Hye-sol, he should consider her as his ally. She reveals that she was the one who sent him Hye-sol's toothbrush, and she hands him Hye-sol's coloring, which proves that she inherited his color blindness, and leaves. At home, Hye-sol tells her mom about the dad event at school, and Yeon-jin is scared. She gets rattled when she learns Jae-joon showed up too. Meanwhile, Do-young secretly meets with Hye Ji-young and asks her about the relationship between Yeon-jin and Dong-yoon. Hye Ji-young tells him that Yeon-jin brutally bullied Dong-yoon in high school. She tells him it was so bad that Dong-yoon dropped out of school. She asks him to ask his wife about Dong-yoon and the rest of the people she bullied. She asks Do-young to tell Dong-yoon that she was the one who told him about what happened to her. Do-young starts to understand what Dong-yoon meant when she said she is betting her life on something. Later, Do-young coincidentally meets with Yeon-young at the Nugo match place he built. They play a game together, and Yeon-young tries to gauge the kind of man Do-young is. Yeon-young tells him he recently moved into town hoping to get revenge for someone. He also tells him he is a surgeon and hands him his contact card. He later reports his meeting with Do-young to Dong-yoon. He tells her that meeting Do-young felt like opening the 17th page of the January issue of GQ magazine. Do-young seemed so put together and so cool. He also tells her that Do-young will only call her once when he has control of the situation. After he has rehearsed the question he wants to ask in his head, Do-young goes home and finds Yeon-jin waiting for him. He asks her about a relationship with Dong-yoon. Yeon-jin says that she and Dong-yoon come from different worlds, and that they talked about their misunderstandings, so everything is fine. She asks him what Dong-yoon said to him, but he tells her that she didn't talk to him. He asks her how she settled her differences with Dong-yoon. She tells him not to listen to other people, but to trust her. She points out that they have been together for 12 years, and he should know that she will fix the issue. She warns him not to open Pandora's box, and that she will make sure their daughter is safe and the box remains closed. The next day, she meets with Jae-joon, who asks her whether she loves Do-young. She admits that she loves Do-young and is not ready to get a divorce. Jae-joon reminds her that he has always been there for her. He tells her Do-young might not accept her once he learns the truth about who she is. She later gets a call from the police chief, Shin Yeong-jun, asking her to meet the next day. Yeong-jun tells her that Dong-yoon is a model citizen based on his private investigation into her. Yeon-jin asks about Dong-yoon's mother and is hoping to use her against Dong-yoon. It looks like the police chief has men watching Dong-yoon's mother. Yeon-jin is not the only one curious about Dong-yoon's mom. Yeon-young is curious too, but Dong-yoon doesn't go into details. However, she wants to learn about the reason behind Yeon-young's passcode. The scene cuts to his mother visiting the killer in prison and warning him never to send another taunting letter to her son. Hye Ji-young finally reports Myung-oh is missing, and the gang is annoyed. Sa-ra gets angry that Hye Ji-young might have put her drug use on the police radar once they start their investigation. She promises she will kill Hye Ji-young if the police start nosing around her. Elsewhere, Dong-yoon tells Hye-nam to get her daughter a passport so that she can be away to study when she executes her dad. She tells Hye-nam that she will lose her child if they go through with the plan to kill her husband, and asks her if she wants to stop. Dong-yoon later receives a call from Do-young asking her to meet. They meet, and he tells her that he wants to listen to her side of the story first because she is the victim. Dong-yoon tells him that she approached him on purpose. He asks where she lives, and she tells him. On the other hand, Yeon-jin discovers that Dong-yoon is living in an apartment right outside her house. She pays a man a hefty sum to break into the house, and she is shocked to see the photos of the bully gang and people close to her on the wall. She starts thinking that she shouldn't have only bullied Dong-yoon, but killed her as well.